grab your big book, your pen, your highlighter, and notepad and get ready to hear and apply some of the solution from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous through the experience, strength, and hope of Nikki M. To have a question addressed in a future episode of Noodle It Out with Nikki, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and Nikki is spelled with 2 Ks. To get a more interactive experience with Nikki as she noodles out life and recovery questions using the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can get a link to her weekly Noodle It Out with Nikki meeting held live on Zoom every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The information to that meeting is in the show notes of this podcast. God morning, God afternoon, and God evening to everybody out there. I am super grateful to be here with you today. My name is Justin B. I am a son of an all-powerful and perfectly loving God and a qualifying addict of multiple fellowships living in the miracle of recovery. And I'm here with the intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever-advancing creation, and my host, Nikki M. Nikki, take a minute, say hi, and just tell us a little bit about what's going on in your life today.
Bonjour. Hola. I'm here. I'm Nikki M. I don't speak a lot of languages. Oh, Vanakkam. I know one word, and I know you know a whole language. But I'm here. I'm Nikki M. I'm a grateful member of this beautiful program that is a spiritual way of life. If you hear me using the word God, or if you're something like this, or we're referring to religious things, there's no religion here. There's no religion here. It's a spiritual way of life. I'm grateful because this is what I want to share. What's happening at the moment is the power of the mind. Justin, I remember years ago, I said, I need a podcast. And here we are. So if you don't think your mind like this, I didn't even know you. I still have never smelt you. I don't never hugged you. Yours. I don't even know if you have legs. Okay. I don't even know. You're just the Zoom guy. So, and a grandpa and a good husband and my partner at this table. So I'm just grateful. I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about right now.
Love it, Nikki. And that's one of the really cool things about I think one of the cool things that came about from that pandemic, that disastrous time that's caused a lot of pain, is that I have made connections worldwide with amazing people like you, Nikki, and like David G, and like so many others who have had a massive impact on my life and my recovery as I strive to practice these principles and apply things, lessons learned I learned from you and from others into my walk, my recovery walk. So what we're doing here, and let's get back to Noodle It Out with Nikki. What we're doing here is we're taking questions that we encounter in everyday life. It's questions that sometimes are emailed to us, sometimes are posted in the Noodle with Nikki chat in the WhatsApp group, sometimes things that we deal with our sponsees, or even sometimes we bring it from our own lives and noodle things out and take it to the big book and find the solution to the problem that's killing us in this moment. And that's just I have found so much peace, so much insight, and so much stuff. In fact, when we were just recording earlier, we went to a paragraph that I had read dozens of times, but never popped out at me that really hit me hard today. Now, let's continue this walk, Nikki. Today, as we record, what I'd like to do is just ask you, what are some of the hot topics that people are coming to you with questions? Sponsees, people you talk to every day, and when you host a different meetings or when you speak in different meetings that people are asking you about today. Here we are in September of 2025. What are you hearing, and what's the solution to those from the big?
Oh, this is such a great topic because it's kind of like we're just going to riff here, everybody. Me and my friend are just going to noodle it out. That's exactly what this podcast is. My sponsor one day said, Nikki, I had something going on. He's been on Rico 12 talking before, Cameron F. And he said, why don't you come over and we'll noodle it out? What is that? Mull it over. So what have been people like? And we get a lot. We have a big chat. It comes in the Rico 12 chat and the Noodle It Out with Nikki chat. Like you said, we have a Monday morning meeting. Usually, I mean, God, 2 weeks ago, we had 150 people live out, and we do not record it, so we get you out. Here it is. Everyone's in fear. Everyone's worried because the world, and we're not page 132. We are not allowed to indulge in the cynicism over the state of the nations. But the reality is, like Justin said, September 2025. Okay, everybody, you may listen to this in 5 years and hear it now. things are really wacky. Like there's a world that none of us even know right now. It's gone, everyone's so divided. I mean, another fear that everyone has is money. Money is crazy. No one can afford it's dark out there for many, many of the humans that are having the human experience right now. Because remember, we're here to have the human experience. You know, what would God do? What would God have us be? Page 68. What would God have us be when we're in fear? When the money, lots of sickness, everybody. We're supposed to be getting people healthier, but I don't know. In North America, I'll speak for Justin, and I do spend a lot of time in Europe over the last 7 years, as you know. I'm actually going to Hungary in 2 weeks. Is our health as a nation, as a world, is not good right now. It's just not good. So people are having many losses, right? You're hearing this, a lot of people with cancers, a lot of people with, oh, mental illness. It just goes deep. And me, because I'm so entrenched in the big book, in the spirit world, there's only one answer for me, and it's the spiritual principles. I won't even go there with the word God, grow or die. I won't go there. I'll go, there's only one answer: spirit, spiritual principles. You know, people call me and I'm like, you're looking out for everything. They want to run to more meetings, Justin. Okay. They want a different fellowship. They want to rework the steps again. And now I get that if you've been here for years and you, Justin and I've done, I'm doing that for the first time with you and David G, going line by line the last, what, 2 years through this big book. I've been here for almost, well, 13 years. It'll be 14 years in February. And I've never gone line by line through the big book. I'm just doing it now, working this set of steps with you guys. You understand what I'm saying here? That that's not the solution. The solution is going into your innermost self. Let's open the book, Justin, because this is what it's all about. On page 158, okay, on page 158, there's some story behind here, but I just want to go to things that I'm reading here, okay, because it's like, well, let's just start. This guy, it's like Nikki. I've prayed to God. I've prayed to God on hangover days. How about heartache moments? How about I'm begging God for money? I've sworn I'd never say that again, do that again, think like that again, Justin. How many times have you said, that's not a God thought? I'm not going to think that I'm less than, because I know our character defects are self loathing. How many times have we said I never do it? But then it's like the next day, okay, like there's a story behind her. I don't want to get into all this line by line, but if you're thinking it over, maybe the people who are telling you right now, remember it says, see where religious, how about see where spiritual people are right? We are in a crazy time. And I'm going to drill it home right now, Justin. And you know this. There's nothing that's going to help you out there, you guys. No human, no more money. No government is coming to save anyone here. Is everyone awake here? No military, no president, no prime minister is going to save anyone right now. Justin, you and I talked about it, and I've seen it. Spiritual warfare is real. The book says it. When trouble comes, you can call it trouble. I'll call it spiritual warfare, especially when you're a starseed like you and I, when we're spirit creatures really helping God's people. Page 77, our purpose is to serve God and God's people. So I like to go, it says, God ought to be able to do anything. Now let's go deep on that, Justin. If I said to you, because everyone's coming at me with fear, even this morning you had a little thing tickling on you. Isn't this power able to do anything, Justin? That's able to do anything. So you got to remember this every day. See, and then go further down. It says on the third day, the lawyer gave his life to the care and direction of his creator. Are you doing that every day? I lost my job in COVID. You said it was a painful time, Justin. And I still don't have a job like that. I made good money. I mean, I had a great job. I didn't know it at the time, Justin. You know how that is too. We don't know it at the time, hindsight. But here it is. And then, are you willing every day, everybody? We're on page 158. Are you perfectly willing to do anything necessary to stay in the spirit world, to not indulge in the cynicism over the state of the nation? Are you perfectly willing to do anything? to have to be what God would have you be, to do what God would have. Well, it's not do, it's what would God have me be, not do. It's what would God have me be. It doesn't say do. Go down further. This is the line I want to get to, which I was trying to get to. But he had found God. It's in the third paragraph, halfway down. And in finding God, he found himself. This is all about, like, if everybody's here on planet Earth and you think this is about more kids, bigger house, grandkids, I still don't have mine. I may never get one. If you think this is about, look in the mirror, everyone. I don't see the reflection of your grandson in there. I don't see your wife in there. It's your reflection, Justin. When I look in my mirror, it's my reflection. Yet here I am, and let me go deep here, and I want to hear what you're saying. I'm not crazy, and neither are you guys out there. I've been avoiding my authentic self. I've been avoiding triggering, if you people like to use that word, upsetting, making the waters muddy because I have to be loving and tolerant. Let's go deeper. We're in a crazy time. If you're not your authentic self, and that means living in the spiritual principles while being your authentic self. Does that make sense, Justin? I'm trying to say, like, the only way to get this, I need to be a glitch in the system. How do I get to be a glitch in the system, Justin? By being loving, because there's so much hate out there. How do I get to be a glitch in this system? Because this is a system. How do I get to be a glitch in this system? I get out there and serve others rather than going, nothing to see here, not my business. Where's that? The tornado, nothing to see here, Ma. Everybody start being a glitch in the system. Start raising the vibration. Stop shrinking. We do not shrink. This is very radical. Finding God, he found himself. But everybody's trying to save everybody right now. Everyone's worried. I was coming home yesterday. My friend was driving me home. She's so worried about her son who doesn't work a program. Like, what's that? Pray all you want, but what's worry going to do? Meanwhile, it's causing her sickness. You guys eating right? I mean, this is radical. All areas. We practice these principles in all areas of our lives, but you guys just go to meetings. You guys just try and go to, I don't know what you're doing out there. I mean, Justin, what are you hearing people are doing and why they're suffering? Come on.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I want to touch on something here real quick before I forget it. In be our authentic selves. What does that mean? And I'm going to answer what I think that means. Um, if I'm the one defining who my authentic self is, I am not doing a good job with that. I need to allow, I'm just going to read exactly what you said there. He had found God, and in finding God, he found himself. Until I find God in the spiritual principles, until I find something greater than myself that can help me define what my purpose is for me and not me to find my own purpose, I'm not going to find myself. The self that speaks from there is a self that is selfish, resentful, fault finding, looking at others and saying, "Oh, look at what a jerk that person is." No, love and tolerance is our code. And that doesn't mean that I roll over and let people walk over me and say, and say and do whatever. But it means that that's a sick person, just like me, right? The person is perhaps spiritually sick, just like me. And I can be a little bit more tolerant of them and live and let live, I think is another big book phrase in here. So there's that. Now, Nikki, you then asked me what questions am I seeing? What things are coming to me today? And there's a lot of fear coming at me from people. A lot of people that and they take that fear and they turn it into anger and resentment. I'm fearful that my rights are going to be taken away. I'm fearful that what I say is going to get me canceled. I'm fearful that, whatever it is. And that's a lot of the things that I'm hearing today from people. I A couple of days ago, I was journaling after learning about just some stupid stuff that's going on in the world today. And I'll just say it was the assassination of a of Charlie Kirk. I heard about that and I was like, well, I didn't know really who Charlie Kirk was. Seen some of the things that he'd done, but when the name was put out there. I was like, I think I know that name, but I don't know who. But anyways, as I was journaling a couple of days later, I had this thought that I was like, I just want to put this down on paper. So if anybody, for whatever reason in the future, decides to take me out for my political, my spiritual, my faith, my recovery, my family, whatever principles that I hold dear that I'm going to stand up for, I just want people to know that if somebody takes me out while got my boots on and I'm practicing those principles, I'm okay. I'm doing what I went out with my boots on. I'm doing what I know is important to me, and I'm okay with that. And I still have fear in my life. I still have selfishness, lots of selfishness in my life. But as I embrace that and say, you know what, whatever that plan is, I'll be okay with it. So I don't know if that makes any sense with this, but Nikki, what are your thoughts as I share
Well, it
that with you?
does. It comes down to a lot of people are afraid of death. Let's go there. Afraid of dying, afraid of losing, afraid of loss. And guess what? None of this is real. None of this is real. It sounds crazy, but we're in a spirit world. So if we're in a spirit, we entered, the book says on page 84, we entered the world of the spirit or the spirit world. I don't have it open right now because I want everyone to turn to page 160. But if you're in a spirit world and you are being abandoning your life, your thinking, and your actions to the creator of this world. And no one has the answer to this. Because if there was one solid answer, there wouldn't be so much debates. You know, it's like the round earth, flat earth. If they could prove it either way, then there would be no debate about it. Long story short, we have to be pattern breakers. We have to break out of these patterns, intergenerational healing. Like it goes so deep. You come to planet Earth, you don't know who you are, why you're here, and you have to remember. You have to remember who you are. This ascension mind into this consciousness. This it talks about it all over the book, being conscious. So here it is on page 160. The very practical approach. Here it is, everybody. What do I do, Nikki? It's a practical approach to your problems, Justin, to your fear, everybody. To I don't have a fear of death, and I was a woman who wouldn't drive for a moment because I had stress. Well, the doctor will say stress-induced anxiety. I call it plain paralyzed fear. I didn't even drive, and I'm an excellent driver. And the only way it got removed, all of it, was focusing on the spiritual principles and trusting in an infinite power. So here's the very practical approach. Number one, you have to have a practical approach. Number two, the absence of intolerance of any kind. I have to be tolerant of every. Does that mean I have to stay there? Like, if I don't like it, why the hell am I at that protest? If I'm out there, why am I with those family? If I don't like it, why am I in that grocery store? If I don't like it, why am I in that city? You understand? Like, this is radical. The absence of intolerance of any kind. That's radical. That's only for spiritual people. Because go deep, religious people have a lot of intolerance. So that's why religion doesn't work here, everybody. Are you awake? That's why, oh, it sounds like a religious cult, Nikki. You're so cultish. Well, that's right. Because the absence of intolerance of any kind is so radical, there's only a small group of us that can do it. And I don't do it. I mess up every day. Just you know me, Justin. Here it is. Number 3, informality. This is so simple. That's why religion won't work for people like me. Does it help? Yes. Did I listen to something this morning about the Christ mind, and not the Christ mind you learn in church, the Christ mind that you learned from the Essenes that was buried so many years ago? You hearing me? Like, informal, simple. Come. I don't care what you wear. Just bring your book. I mean, we got to be thoughtful of each other. I'm not, don't come in here naked, nudist Nikki. How about this one? Genuine democracy. And that's something I'd have to look up because I really, in this world, what is democracy right now? Because I'm not experiencing it. And I live in a democratic country. I lost all my rights in COVID. So that goes deep, and that's another conversation for another day. But you could just roll that in with God will disclose more on page 164. And man, that was the greatest time of my life, COVID. I didn't see it at the time, Justin. And then it says here, the uncanny understanding. See, I've got practical approach, number one. Number two, absence of any intolerance of any kind. Number three, informal. We're all each other. There's no one higher or lower. I don't need to. We are all equal. We are all equal. There's no higher, no lower, no hierarchy here. We are all equal. Someone with more time than me and Justin, or me and Justin with more time than someone, does not make us better than or greater than or less than. It makes us all equal. The genuine democracy. I guess that's all equal. Uncanny understanding. And what does that word say under there? It makes us irresistible. Come through.
Oh, this is good stuff. And um, you mentioned that, so many people are afraid of death. So many people are afraid of whatever that means. There are so many, my experience, there are so many worse things than death. And not that I'm out there looking to die. I don't, I like my life. I like the people I interact with. I like the things that are going on generally in my life. And I don't want that to come to a perceived end. But man, there are so many worse things out there than death. And I think one of those things is living in hell as a active addict, or as an untreated alcoholic, or as somebody who is not connecting to the power. That's how I define hell, is just misery because I refuse to connect with the power and with others. And that's kind of my thoughts on that. Anything else before we start wrapping this up, Nikki?
Yeah, I had a thought and it kind of escaped me just now, but I do want to just roll your eyes over to page 161, everybody. And that's because we have to have the big book out here. Oh, I know what I was going to say about death. Okay. Just keep your finger on 161, but just in the thought, it's on page 23. This all centers in your mind. So the other day, like I make videos. If you're part of the Noodle chat, I sometimes make videos from my hot tub, and it's not that I'm showing you that I'm retired, forced, um, in my hot tub, and I got a sauna and all these great things. It's that my mind created all that, Justin. As within, so without. I think that's what they say. Within, so without. As above, so below. So if you're looking for heaven, it's in your mind. If you're looking for hell, that's in your mind. See, I created hell before because all I did was live in my defects, driven by 100 forms of fear, self delusion, self seeking, self pity. That's 400 forms of madness. So when I lived there, everything reflected out of my mind was madness. Now that I have this consciousness, this on earth as it is in heaven, my mind, you guys got to go deep. These are metaphors, all of it. This is so deep. We could, oh my God. Justin, we could talk for hours and hours. So let's get the big book out here. Page 161. We're going to go halfway through here when it says here, no one is too discredited or has sunk too low to be welcomed cordially if they mean business. So if you want to live a spiritual way of life, you're welcome. But if you're in here using us as a therapy session, coming in here and thinking this is when oh, it's 2025 and things are bad, and when things get better I'm going to leave the rooms, because I just actually did a talk, Justin. I got a new woman. We're going to start the steps together, lady. And 6 years sober, not sponsoring, mediocre recovery, no miracles. She heard me speak. It's nothing different. I'm just living what the book says to do, which is social distinctions, petty rivalries, and jealousies. These are laughed out of countenance. Okay? We don't, like, everyone's welcome. We just read it on like this is radical, and that's what you see, just what I'm saying. What we're doing here in Rico 12 and Noodle with Nikki and the Big Book sponsorship family, we welcome everybody, and it's a microcosm of what the world should look like. And then we take it out, and that expands, and the consciousness grows, and then you create your heaven on earth. Because here it says, being wrecked, we are all wrecked. Planet Earth, they say it's a prison planet right now. That's another conversation, another podcast. I need another podcast, someone out there that just goes into weird stuff that I can rant on. That's that you can say. You know, we do have limits in the rooms. Number two, being restored. We've been restored, everyone, to sanity. Come on, Justin. You wanted to die, and you have a beautiful family. I wanted to die. I want to kill people. I get real weird in my disease of self, in my old belief system. And we're united. Here it is. Drum roll, Mr. Justin B. One God. And that's a God of your understanding, everybody. That's why, like you mentioned that political person who was taken out or whatever. You can't even use the right words right now. You don't want to use names. It doesn't matter. The death of any other person is the death of us. I'm him, you're me. Like when we're all going to realize this is when the world's going to wake up. Like you are me, I am you. In the spirit world, there's no meat suit, there's none of this stuff. And we have hearts and minds attuned to the welfare of others. The things which matter so much to some people, the money, the fear, I'm going to die. What happens if they get sick? They're going to lock me down again, Justin. What's going to happen? They no longer, it says right here, no longer signify much to them. It doesn't, that stuff, Justin, doesn't matter. Remember me crying over the years? I should go to Luxembourg. I want to get married. Ask me today if we're going to get married right now. No, that's kind of God revealed some more. We are going to have a good time in Hungary. That's the good news. But you understand, God disclosed more to me, and God will disclose more to you. Because you're right, my authentic self, I was programmed to think it was this way. I got to be married. I got to have the ducks in the row, blah, blah, blah. My authentic self, I didn't even know. It's all about God. So in closing, it says right there, how could they? How could we be concerned with all that stuff? Why? We've escaped disaster together. We're miracles. Justin, I love you.
And I love being a miracle, and I love being reawakened to the fact that, how could these things signify anything to me? How could they? Well, if I have been rescued from that wreck, the wreck in the same vessel, and restored to, I'm going to just read it, being restored and united under one God, with hearts and minds attuned to the welfare of others, the things which matter so much to some people no longer signify much. How could they? Everybody, how could they? Dive in, dive deep, awaken, and get spiritually awakened, and come join with us and trudge this road of happy destiny with us. Work it. You are worth it.